got the long bonds with us.
Hello.
We have Screech and Dorian from the band. We're meeting on the Oxford date. How's it been going so far?
Been going really well. As I say, it's the first headlining tour we've done, and the crowd so far have just been absolutely amazing. Every venue's been really full and just full of people who either know all the songs already or just seem to be really interested in it. So yeah, can't ask for more than that. It's been good. Looking forward to tonight.
Has the crowds changed like over the past year? Like, have you got more girls, more guys? What are the proportions like?
I think there's definitely, especially down the front of the gigs, there's a lot more girls in berets.
Oh really? Yeah, okay.
So, but
at the back there's just loads of guys.
And at the back there's loads of big guys with glasses.
Screech wigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's a question.
Fake sunglasses.
Your name?
Yes.
Is it to do with the Saved by the Bell character?
No, it's my actual name.
Really? So your real name is Screech Louder?
My real name is Screech Louder, yeah. I used to have a pretend name that I use for like business purposes, but I can't reveal that for tax reasons.
I see.
And it could be the...
Are you in the MI5 by any chance?
Yes, I am. It's a big secret. I can't talk about it for security reasons.
Any stories from the tour bus? Any funny things happen?
It's not really a tour bus, it's more like a little van.
Yeah.
It's quite stressful actually. I can
I
imagine.
feel cooped up all the time.
The only difference between me and Terry Waite is I have been chained to a radiator. A reference to anyway, but it's kind of a little bit cramped, a little bit annoying, but it's good because when you get to the gig you can just kind of release that tension.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we live in halls, so it's really like a little travelling thing.
I think it might.
Very cramped as well.
Not the same kind of hygiene standards and things.
Yeah. Oh no, you should see our house. We're living with 9 people.
Oh
no.
Dearie me.
Oh no.
That's terrible.
We actually
never lived with more than 4 people.
No,
4 is like the
I
maximum.
lived with 5 once. And that
Really?
Yeah, I lived with 6. That was an absolute nightmare.
Commune is
Yeah.
awful.
But back to the interview. Okay.
Back to the real
Oh, good to get it back on track.
Okay. Alright, so Once and Never Again is out this week, and we've been disagreeing about what it's about, whether it's about an abusive relationship, or whether you think 19-year-olds like ourselves, well not Alex anymore, who's 20, but 19-year-olds like me should have a boyfriend. Can you clear this up for the listeners?
It's kind of, well, it's open to interpretation. I quite like the way that you've kind of been, conversing about it. Yeah, and we've had quite a lot of reactions like that. I mean, it's not a specific. It's not about a specific person or a specific incident or anything like that, but it's just a general idea which I think a lot of people can kind of connect with and put their own thing on. Like, if there is a kind of almost an abusive relationship thing to it, which was never the intention, but I can see how that would work, But then there's a, then again, it could just be like empowering, for you're 19, you don't need a boyfriend,
Yeah, I found that last year.
Yeah.
Now you're 20, you
so
desperately need a boyfriend.
can't use that song anymore. No, it's just because of that line about cutting yourself while washing your eyes.
Yeah.
Was it self-harm? That was another
Okay.
issue.
Well, again, it's I know it's something that's not really addressed, is it? So if people want to kind of get something from that, then I think that's a good thing. But then again, it's not necessarily about that. It's almost like a metaphor. Just kind of I think you maybe just get the idea from the lyrics that there's so many different whatever kind of situation you're going through at the time, you can probably project it onto that song, which is hopefully the sign of a good song.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what the lyrics are really.
A good tune. Of course, the singles from your new album, Someone to Drive You Home, which is out November 4th.
November the 6th.
Is it the 6th?
Yes.
I read it was the 4th.
Yeah, that was erroneous information. It is.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for clearing that up.
We're not cocky like Oasis and just not releasing an album.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
And it was still the biggest selling album.
Good you know your stuff though. You didn't have to read it anywhere.
No,
well, it's been drilled
into us.
Okay.
Rough Trade ring us every day and go, just to remind you, this is what's happening.
Well, your new album, is a position in the charts important to you?
I think the thing is, like, the charts are weird because it's such a, like, not arbitrary thing, but it's all kind of dependent on so much other factors, like what else is released that week and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think it's just more important that as many people as possible hear the record. Like, we could I think, like, we're releasing our album the same week as like the Best of Girls Aloud or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
really? You have a
if
best
that's,
of?
yeah, I bet it's amazing. I love Girls Aloud. But like,
Really?
if, like, because that record will probably sell quite a lot, our record will have to sell like loads. It's just like such an arbitrary thing. You can't really worry about it. I just hope as many people as possible get to hear it and like it.
It'd be nice to get like a high chart placing, just because we've always kind of grown up with that kind of top of the pops thing and loving that kind of thing. But I mean, you kind of look at the chart, you know, like the Kasabian album can kind of get to number 1 and then like drop out the next week, and like the same as like the Automatic and the Fratellis and all these bands that, I mean, a lot of it depends on like how much money you're willing to spend on kind of like putting adverts in the enemy and things like that, you know. But that doesn't really matter. Like Screech says, it's like the most important thing is those songs are written so people can kind of connect with them. So if people are continuing to do that, and that's good. It doesn't matter whether it gets to number 1 or like 2.
Be an album that kind of has legs and like lasts for a really long time. Yeah, exactly. That's much more important.
You mentioned Girls Aloud before. We've looked on your website and you've said that you prefer listening to the likes of oddballs like Stock Aitken and Waterman.
Very oddballs.
Why do you prefer them to these like somewhat more cool and cult influences like the Beatles, the Stones, Dylan?
I think like that kind of comment initially when we kind of said it was just like a flippant thing that we didn't think would be like a big I mean, it's not like, you know, we don't listen to any of those bands. I'm not a massive Dylan or Beatles fan, but the Stones are alright. But it's like we were just kind of making a point that like kind of it should just be taken as read that people are aware of those bands. Like there's no point like mentioning them at all. It's just like
we've got tired, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, you know, big wow, like it doesn't really matter. We were kind of just trying to do something a bit different really, and people have kind of taken it more sort of literally than it was meant.
It's like you say about it being like cool artists and things like. I think the trouble is with a lot of groups that kind of decide who's going to be cool. Like it's not really Beatles and Stones anymore now. It's not like kind
Joy
of
Division.
Joy Division. And you seem to get a lot of groups who just kind of say, oh yeah, we like Joy Division. It's like, but without kind of understanding the reason for them existing, if you see what I mean. And like them groups, you know, but we didn't just start a band to copy their style of music.
I don't just listen to the Beatles. That's not all I listen to. We have like, you know, I have a big record collection and there's a lot of stuff in there.
So if you're not a typical band, what is the key to writing a good different pop song then?
I'm not sure. It's one of those things you can't really. I don't know if you can formulate it too much. I think the thing that I'm quite obsessed with, and I think that we all really like, is there's kind of been a lineage of pop songs throughout the years and bands and things that have had a really kind of meaningful lyric to them, and like been quite dark, like the lyrics. But like you can kind of go out and dance to them, you know, and that's what we all kind of met doing really. Like you listen to. And even, you know, like obviously the Smiths, you know, and Pulp, Suede and things are perfect to that. And even like stupid stuff like ABBA and kind of like like Dusty Springfield and like we're saying about Stock Aitken and Waterman. It's funny, but you listen to something like Better the Devil You Know by Kylie. Seriously, if you actually listen to the lyrics, it's a really dark song, but like you know, it's the sort of thing that like
when you think about it, it's just
like, you know, and we just kind of like that. We kind of like that juxtaposition really, and that's what we're trying to do really with. I mean, stuff like Once and Never Again hopefully is on its way to achieving that, you know, because you can kind of go out and dance, like it seems to get played at every indie night I go to, which is a little bit embarrassing.
What's it played about?
Yeah, it's strange, but you know, it's nice to get that, and then you can take it home and listen to it, and it still means something to you when you're just like on your own, you know.
If there was one pop song that you wish you could have written, what would it be?
That's quite difficult. I think my favourite at the moment, probably Say Hello, Wave Goodbye by Soft Cell. It's so kind of, it's really kind of, I can't explain, there's nothing like pretentious or anything about it. It's just like so, like not one line is wasted, you know, there's no kind of excess on there. But
that's another thing, a good thing about writing a good pop song is that there's no excess, everything has to be really well thought about. Like, no one instrument is more important than any other instrument, and everything has to fit perfectly.
Exactly, which is what I think what we're trying to do. And you know, even the fact that David Gray has covered that song is not distracted from it whatsoever.
It was the last track on the hit album White Ladder.
His bobbing little head, you know, just kind of sucked every kind of emotion from that song. But it is so brilliant. It's a brilliant song. And something that to me would be amazing. It kind of sounds like it was written in like 5 minutes, but it will last forever as one of the best songs. It's great.
Screech, what would you have written if you?
I think probably You're So Vain by Carly Simon actually.
Oh, we love that song.
I really love that song.
Another song where like no line is.
Yeah.